Dear friends, I want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. This Shabbat we'll be reading the Torah portion of Toldos, where we talk about the life of Yitzchak, and mostly about the birth of his two children, his twin sons, Esav and Yaakov, and how they developed, and how they each went in very different directions. But I want to focus today on the life of Yitzchak, because we find something unique in this week's portion when we talk about Yitzchak, that he planted his fields and God blessed him to have incredible success, meaning 100 to 1. You know the odds? He whatever he expected to grow grew 100 times more. Incredible success, not just the stroke of luck, a little better, unbelievable. We don't find this type of success, at least written in the Torah, about either Abraham or Jacob, the other forefathers. They were all very successful. They were very wealthy, success, everything they touched turned to gold. But by Yitzchak, we find somehow a success even to a greater measure than his father or his son had achieved. And why is the Torah even telling us? It doesn't make a difference if he made more or less money. The Torah tells us that they gave charity, they tithed. But what is the idea of telling us about the success that they had? So everything the Torah tells us about our forefathers or the matriarchs is really to teach us lessons in our life. And we all want to be successful. We all want to do well in our career, in the business we are doing. We want to make money. We want to do well in investments. We all want to take care of our family well. Everyone wants to has ambition to find financial success. Now, the natural way of thinking, normally you would think, how do I find success? The more I devote myself to business or to whatever is at hand that I'm doing, investing and research, the more I devote myself to my career, the more success I will have. What does it mean, the more? So something has to give. We all have 24 hours a day, and we don't have more. So where does the more come from? So sleeping, we can't take away from. We got to sleep. We got to eat. We got our basic needs that we have to take care of. So where does these hours, when we talk about the more, where do they come from? So very often, what we give up is our spiritual responsibilities. We don't have time to pray, or to pray with a minyan, with a quorum, or in shul, or to pray at all. And who has time to do Shabbos, especially in the winter months? Like now, Shabbos begins 4 o'clock. Today it's 4:01 p.m. in Montreal. This Friday. Where do we? How do I ever leave my business, the close of business at this hour and make money? And holidays have fallen during the week, etc., etc., etc. So all of a sudden, we are taking away from our spiritual aspects to be able to be more successful, to be able to have more. There's a story, Rabbi Lev Yitzchak of Berditchev, we had someone who prayed in the synagogue. And this fellow, before they even finished the morning services, he already had his tallis and tefillin wrapped up, and he was running out the door. He was running out the door. So once Rabbi Lev Yitzchak said, my dear friend, why every morning, before we even finish the prayers, you're out the door already? Why are you running out the door? So he says, Rebbe, I got to make a living. I got a family to take care of. I got to provide for them. So I don't have that time to finish the prayers. I wait till the end, and then I go as quick as I can. So Rabbi Yitzchak of Berditchev said, and how are you faring? He says, not as good as I'd like to. So he says, listen here. You run out the door, I see. And you make a left and you run. I don't know where you run, but you run that direction. Perhaps every day when you run out the door, if you would run to the right, there'd be a lot more potential financial success waiting your way. So maybe every day when you run out the door, you're running away from your potential success instead of running towards your potential success. What does it mean? What it means is that we must recognize that our success of everything, but specifically financial, which we think is based on our efforts and dedication to it and commitment, is really a blessing from God in heaven. We may work the same exact hours on 2 different weeks and have very different results. I mean, if you're an employee, you're getting paid per hour. It's different. But when you're trying to create your own results, we work 1 year less than the other year and you'll be much better off. Because it's all about God's blessing. Yes, we have to work, we have to put in the time and the effort. That's the way God wants us to do it. That's how we become partners in our success. But the real cause of our success is God's blessing. So the Berditcher was telling, maybe if you stayed in synagogue till the end and you connected more of what you were supposed to do on your spiritual responsibilities, that will translate that your financial responsibilities may definitely be taken care of in the same way, perhaps even more. And this is what the Torah tells us about Yitzchak. Yitzchak, Isaac of all the forefathers, was much more inner focused. Yaakov, Jacob traveled a lot. He was involved with the outside world, many different dealings with Lavan and then with Shechem and with many, and Pharaoh in Egypt. Abraham was definitely an extrovert running around, always trying to bring people closer to God, involved with people, interacting. Yitzchak, we don't find so much interaction. We find he was very focused on personal growth, self-development. He was the most spiritual of all of them. He never even left the land of Israel because he was so spiritual. But yet he had the greatest success, financial of all of them, because that's where the true blessing lies. The more we do the responsibilities we're supposed to do, whatever's coming to us will come to us. By closing the store after Shabbos begins will not bring you any more money. On the top line, you may think so, but the bottom line, it will come out in some other way. So, remember, if you want to have greater success, be committed. Do what we're supposed to do spiritually. Shabbos, prayers, other things. Start along that path and you'll find that you'll achieve at least as what you achieved until now, and perhaps even more, but more importantly, you'll have peace of mind, satisfaction, less stress, more connection to yourself, to your family, to God, and blessings. So God bless you all. We love you all. As we mentioned before, Shabbos candlelighting time in Montreal, 4:01 p.m. And I want to invite you all Saturday night to join us for our ongoing Havdalah and story. A great way to end the Shabbat and come into the new week with a beautiful story, inspirational story, and sing the Havdalah together. So be well, all the best.